Today we're going to use Maker's Empire and the Shaper module to create a candle holder. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Shaper module, and I am going to build out the size of the candle first. So I'm going to go to Flat Shapes, and I am going to pick the circle. I am going to switch over so that it is scaled ratio is locked, so that when I tap on the measurements, I can change it to 42, and my diameter will be 42 all the way across. So the diameter of the candle that we are going to be placing is going to be 42 millimeters. And then the depth or the height is going to be 50 millimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is to actually create an example of the size so that I have a better idea of when I'm creating that what I create is going to actually fit the candle. So now I'm going to put the candle off to the side so that I can now start to create the base of my candle, and then I'll come back to that candle in a little bit. So now I'm going to just go through and I'm going to select what shape I would like to use. So today, the shape that I want to use is the heart. So I'm going to tap on the heart and I'm going to unlock the heart so that I can use it. I'm going to go back to my shaper, and now I have the heart to use. So I'm going to tap on the heart. Now obviously the heart is going to have to be bigger than the candle in order for the candle to fit inside of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to increase the size of my heart, and I can go over it and touch on the candle and look, okay, see how that's still not quite big enough? So even though I think it might be big enough, I'm going to make it bigger because I need the candle to fit inside of it. So I'm going to pull my candle back over, make sure that that looks big enough, and I might move it around to see that there is enough space. And then I'm going to move that candle off to the side again because I'm going to check it in a little while. Now I'm going to tap on my candle holder, my heart, and I am going to change the height. So I know that the height of the candle that's going in the holder is 50 millimeters. So I know, and I'm going to tap so that I'm not in a scaled ratio because I'm just working on the height of, or the depth of my candle. I'm going to make my candle holder 60 millimeters. Now I could move it around and do that sort of stuff, or I can just tap on it and increase that size. Now it's not a big deal that right now it's not sitting on my build plate. Okay, I could have increased my build plate. I'm going to pinch and pull back so that I can see everything that is happening. Now my next step is that I am going to put a hole in my heart. So I'm going to switch to a different color. I'm going to pick the heart again. I am going to scale it. Notice that I'm using the 4 arrows so that it scales equally. And then I'm going to just sort of get it so that I have it where it looks sort of even. I have nice thick sides still. And then when I have it where I want it, I'm going to turn it a little bit. I'm going to change this to 2 arrows, and then I'm going to pull it up so that my read on this side is at least 50 millimeters. So I'm going to go 50.9. And then I'm going to drop this in. And actually I'm going to go a little bit higher just because I want to be able to see it up on the top. Alright, before I punch the hole in it, I want to make sure that it looks centered. Now I'm going to go over to these 3 lines right here, and then the 2 circles, and I'm going to pick this one way out to the side, which creates the hole. If I like the hole how it is, I'm going to hit the check mark, and now I have that hole in there. Now I can bring my candle. All right, let me ungroup this real quick. So that, my other candle decided that it wants to be grouped, and that I do not want. So I'm going to do undo, 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 undo. For some reason, this grouped in, so I'm going to actually get rid of it before I put that hole in this time, because I already know that this is big enough because I've tested it, and I no longer need that candle off to the side. So now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to put that hole in. Notice that I didn't want that on the side. Now I have a chance to decorate it. So I can go to my text, and I can add words. So let's say I wanted to put love on the side. I can take the L, and I'm going to pull it out here. I'm going to rotate it up so that I can put it on the side. And this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, and this will take you a little bit longer to do. And this is where I'm going to manipulate until I get it where I want it. But I can add letters. I can add, and notice that this is going to be a little bit trickier, and I'm going to use the undo button a lot. I can add letters as holes. I can add shapes as holes. I can decorate this any way that I would like. But the bare minimum that you have to do is make a candle holder that has a hole big enough for the candle to fit in.